Hello and a warm welcome to Rockingham Motor Speedway near Corby in Northamptonshire for the opening round of the 2013 Motorsport News Ford Fiesta Junior Championship. It's our second year of competition, and the man who set the pace in Saturday's qualifying session was James Ross. He starts on pole. Robert Cox alongside, then it's Rory Collingbourne and Alex Reid on row 2. The third row, Alfonso Skritska and Natasha Hussain. And on his own at the back, after problems in qualifying, Ben Wilcox. He's in the black and yellow car, just coming into line. We'll get the 5-second board. There it is from the starting gantry. And the senior marshal there will be in charge of the lights that get the race underway. And it's going to happen any moment now. Away they go. Not a great start from JJ Ross, who gets a little bit bogged down, but a cracking start by Robert Cox. The white car with the stripes that leads around turn 1. JJ Ross about to be overtaken by Alfonso Skritska on the outside. Rory Collingbourne in the other yellow car is there. The black car of Ben Wilcox has a reasonable start. He was ahead at one point ahead of JJ Ross, and at the back it's Natasha Hussain. I think we've actually managed to name check all 7 drivers in the start, which is great. Oh, Collingbourne! Now, was he tagged there? Or was that a little bit of over-exuberance perhaps on cold tyres? Incidentally, the tyres have changed since last year. The drivers now on the treaded tyre as opposed to the slick racer are on board with car number 51, Alex Reid, chasing the man who made a great start, Robert Cox. Terrific start from him in the car prepared, as you can see, by WDE, Wayne Eason's team. And he's having a good run, literally throwing the car through. What a great shot that is, seeing the cars bounce over the curb. So you can see the youngsters not holding back at all. I think we've possibly got a challenge on for lead position. It was momentarily. Alex Reid, I think, was having a look, but at the moment it's Robert Cox who leads this one. Oh, gets it a little bit squirrely off onto the dirt. Rally moment for him. Well, he's done well. He's kept it out of the gravel and he's rejoined. Well done. Good effort by the youngster as the cars came out of Graceland and they're now in the Tarzan corner. So Alex Reid in the lead. Alfonso Skritska second. JJ Ross third. Rory Collingbourne in 4th place. These 4 at the moment starting to pull away down the slope in towards the Brook S's for the first time. Left, right, left complex. Back onto the main straight they'll come. Skritska chasing in 2nd position. Really handy start from Alfonso, started in 5th place. And up across the grid lines they go to complete the first lap of what we think will be 8, possibly 9 laps. It's a 15-minute race, it's a timed race, and there's a challenge for second. The yellow car of JJ Ross, we go on board with him down the inside line, very neatly keeping away from the getting 2 wheels over the lines, and I think he's passed. I can't see Alfonso Skritska anywhere at the moment, so it's into the hairpin, and now JJ can focus on coming. There's Skritska coming up the inside, forces JJ Ross onto the grass. I don't think JJ's going to be overly happy with that. Probably a little bit too much momentum on the corner from Skritska. Took him to the outside line. Ross fending off Rory Collingbourne. Goodness me, all exciting stuff here. Very much a junior touring car championship this. We had similar racing last year here. Cars going door handle to door handle. And we'll talk about some of the drivers that have moved on as the programme progresses. But what a good start. What a really interesting opening lap we've had from these youngsters. Rory Collingbourne there in 4th place. Skritska kicks up a bit of dirt as he comes out of Piff Paff and heads down the straight. You can see from the camera angle a little bit of a slope down towards the corner they're in now, Gracelands. Named after David Grace, the man who conceived the facility here. He got the idea for building the track. Now they're coming down into Tarzan, named after the similar corner at Zandvoort in Holland. So JJ Ross in 3rd place, chasing Alfonso Skritska, but it's Alex Reid out front at the moment in the 51 car. Now last year Alex raced car number 15, you might remember that, so a change of number. 51 last year was of course contested by Freddie Lee, who won the first race of the championship. I wonder if we're going to see 51 win the first race of this year as well. Certainly it's in the lead at the moment, and so Freddie not racing with us this year, but Alex Reid is. Now here comes JJ Ross. He's going to look down the inside line on turn 1. He did this a lap ago. The question is, can he make it stick this time? Alfonso's giving him plenty of room. He's certainly got his nose in front. It's going to be about the braking down into the hairpin. It's going to be a slightly tighter entry this time for JJ. He's very clearly moved up into 2nd place now. So Alex Reid, lead position from James Ross. Alfonso Skritska down to third. Nice pass there by JJ Ross. Rory Collingbourne is in fourth. So Rory running well, and the race will begin now to settle down a little bit as we get towards 1/3 distance. So there's Alfonso Skritska. I suppose what we really need to focus on now is whether JJ Ross can overcome Alex Reid. Reid qualified fourth. The respective times for the drivers: JJ Ross 1 minute 46.8, half a second clear of Robert Cox. Alex Reid did a 1:48.6. So Reid certainly in qualifying spec a little bit down. He doesn't seem to be that much slower at the moment. Granted, JJ Ross is closing in on him, but the gap's not as big as it was in that best qualifying lap that we saw in Saturday's session. So along the school straight here, and JJ Ross, top seeded driver from last year, coming back into the championship. He finished third in the table last year. He was on pole position at Rockingham. It was the 5th event of the season last year, rounds 9 and 10, and he took pole position and indeed won the first race. He took second in the other race, and he got fastest lap as well. So JJ will feel very buoyed racing here at Rockingham. Any pressure that he's got as being the top seeded driver, I think, will probably be negated with the confidence that he had from winning that race last year. Now looks to the inside line, so Alex Reid still in the lead position, but JJ hard on the brakes, keeps a tight inside line, knows he can do that. We've seen him do it a couple of times. That was a very well executed manoeuvre. Now we're going to have to, yeah, he's completed it, he's done it, he's through. And there's Ben Wilcox in the background. Wilcox watching the battle for the lead, wishing he was out there. The black and yellow car sadly out of the race. I say it does when the drivers move on. It opens up the formula for others to come in. It's a little bit difficult, as we said, for the championship organisers, because they effectively have to resell the formula every 3 years. They have to keep it alive, and that's why numbers are never in junior racing as big as you see in the senior grids. Ross, again, neat and tight. He picks up a little bit of dirt there on the exit of Dean, but this is a dangerous time for a driver. He's got a good lead. He's got nobody behind him, clear track in front of it, and he really does need to focus. So the focus is on fastest laps as we look back down the order. There's Robert Cox. Robert trying to catch up with Alfonso Skritska. Alfonso running a little bit wide. Is it his turn to be squeezed onto the dirt? No, Cox not quite near enough to have a go. Down into Yentwood corner. Let's not forget our lady racer who's out here as well, Natasha Hussain, in a plain white car, running in sixth position at the moment. And Robert Cox, who qualified second, trying to close down on Alfonso for fourth place at the moment. That's the battle. But here's JJ Ross. Super stuff from him. Very difficult to start on the inside at Rockingham. You very often see the pole position not really giving the best rundown into turn one. And JJ, I think he was actually 6 at one point as the cars went into turn one, but he's fought back. He's put in fastest lap after fastest lap, shown some terrific racecraft as well. And there's the last lap board, I think, that's going out. JJ Ross onto the last 2 miles of this first race of the 2013 Motorsport News Ford Fiesta Junior Championship. Around turn one, pretty much on his own, and all he's got to do is just repeat the form that he had in qualifying. In fact, he doesn't really have to do that. He can back off the gas, save his tyres perhaps for the second race. Again, uses all the curb. You can see absolutely textbook lines from the youngster. Now down towards Yentwood, the right-hander. This the only anti-clockwise track, predominantly left-hand track that these cars come to. So it is a totally different feel to the other circuits that the cars are going to be racing on this year. Through Chapman Curve, now through the complex known as Piff Paff. This is about as far away as the cars get from the main spectator facilities here in the Rockingham building. And then they begin their turn back towards their teams and the spectators that are here. Now you see the grandstands in the distance, which aren't open for these general club races, but the main Rockingham building is, and there's a fair few people here watching today in the main Rockingham building and watching this youngster notch up potentially his second career win in the Fiesta Junior Championship into Tarzan for the last time. very neat and tidy again, down the school straight. So just the Brook S's now to negotiate, and then he'll see that prize. The checkered flag awaiting him. JJ Ross will lead the championship. It's a point for pole position, which he's got. He's got the fastest lap as well, set on lap 7. Big pardon, lap 8, 147.594. Second fastest driver on track, Rory Collingbourne, incidentally, but he's third. But there's the checkered flag. JJ Ross takes the first win of the 2013 season, opens his account, sets out his stall for the other drivers. He's the man that they're going to have to beat this year. So it's pole, win and fastest lap for James Ross. Here's confirmation. Alex Reid takes second behind JJ. Rory Collingbourne third. Robert Cox just pipped Alfonso Skritska on the last lap. And Natasha Hussain takes sixth position.
Some of the biggest upheavals in American sports is in the world of motor racing, especially sports car racing. There's mergers, new series being proposed, audiences coming and going, drivers getting younger and younger. That's why you need the Racing Insiders on MAV TV to help you navigate the turmoil. The Racing Insiders is a new, weekly, 30-minute news show covering sports car racing, whether it's being done professionally, globally, or by the local grassroots club. Award-winning journalist Bill Wood will host the weekly discussions, along with race-winning insiders Peter Keene in Florida and Jim Daniels in Tennessee. It's a fast-paced, edgy sports show. They'll even reach out to guest insiders to bring you behind-the-scenes insider information you'll want to know. This new era in sports car racing needs the Racing Insiders.
The Racing Insiders on MAV TV, Thursdays at 2 and 5 p.m. Eastern, and again on Saturdays at noon. Want to keep up with all the racing action at the track? Well, download the new GoRacingTV iPhone and Android app. And remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Welcome back to Rockingham for our second race in the Junior Fiesta Championship for 2013. The grid for this one based on the results from race number 1, and that means that James Ross starts on pole with Alex Reid alongside. Row 2, Rory Collingbourne and Robert Cox. Alfonso Skritska and Natasha Hussain completing the 6-car grid. Sadly, we've lost Ben Wilcox due to those maladies in race 1, and let's hope he'll be back for our second race meeting at Snetterton. JJ Ross looking to better last year's record of a win and second position. He's already matched it in terms of the win and pole position. Grabbed the fastest lap as well, emulating his success last year. Way to go, much better getaway from Ross in pole position. Rory Collingbourne in the white and blue car with the red roof coming up into second place. Alex Reid is third. Then it's Rob Cox and Alfonso Skritska. Natasha Hussain back in 6th place at the moment. But JJ Ross is out front. He's going to be a difficult man to beat because he was that much quicker than everybody else in race 1. And Alfonso Skritska trying to look up the inside of Alex Reid as they come out of Dean for the first time. There's Natasha Hussain at the back, WDE prepared driver. This is only her second race meeting. Joined the championship at Brands Hatch last year. Took an 8th and 7th position on her debut, and we had 10 cars out at Brands Hatch that weekend, so that was a good performance from the young lady racer from Yorkshire. Here goes Alfonso Skritska. You can see it tends to look a little bit more sedate from the cameras placed around the circuit, but when you get on board and see how close these guys race, it really is impressive stuff. Down steel straight for the first time. Not really an opportunity to dive down the inside here for Graysons because it's a sweeping left-hand corner. The next overtaking opportunity might be down the inside as they come into the next corner, which is Tarzan, but Alfonso, the red car who we're on board with, sticks behind the third place car, Alex Reid in the Scale Extric livery machine. Rory Collingbourne still in second. Collingbourne with a podium in the first race, so not a bad start for the 15-year-old young Welsh driver, running well. Skritska still chasing him. Now Rob Cox had a good run in the first race, you might remember, leading off the line and for pretty much half a lap before they got to Steel Straight. Then he had to fight back from last position, made it through into fourth at the end of the race, so he'll be trying to make progress here. And at the moment he's fifth and challenging Alfonso Skritska, the white car, but it's JJ Ross in front here. Now, in the other formulas that we've seen racing this weekend, the second race times have been a little bit slower. It'd be interesting to see how the Fiestas pan out. I've got to say, it was a cracking start by JJ Ross. We very often talk about the fact that the inside doesn't seem to be the best place, but he really got the car hooked up well, and he may not have to overtake anybody in this race, but he's still got to pull away from them. So Rob Cox through now, ahead of Alfonso Skritska, and up into fourth position. Alex Reid ahead of him in third, standing between Rob and a podium. Robert, with very, very little, if any, I think, motor racing experience, took part in another junior championship scholarship last year and made the finals. Only 15 years of age, turned 15 in February this year. And I think that just goes to show that you don't have to have buckets of karting experience to come and have a go at this. So Rob's passed Alfonso. Alfonso himself's got a fair bit of karting experience and a known name from karting circles. He's running there in car number 8. The cars go down into the Brook S's for the second time. First race was 9 laps. I think we'll probably go to the same again. It's a 15-minute race. Lap times seem to be panning out about the same. So we're looking at nine laps, assuming we don't get any safety cars or anything like that. And this is the view from Alfonso's car, the number 8 machine. Alfonso, I don't know if you can cast your minds back to the opening round last year at Silverstone, got involved in a first lap skirmish with Ben Wilcox, who's had a miserable first round again today, and also Louis Miller. Alfonso did get back out for the second race. He took 6th and then had a time away from the championship, rejoined us at Brands Hatch for the anti-penultimate race of the year, and had a best result of 3rd. So it was nice to see him on the podium at Brands Hatch in what we said to say was 10 cars. Very competitive race meeting at Brands. So we know that Alfonso can cut the mustard. Now, talking about last year's drivers, we mentioned Charlie Liddell is doing so well in the senior Fiestas, the similar spec car, the Fiesta ST. He was last year's champion. Jack Mitchell 2nd, James Ross 3rd, and 4th was Aidan Moffat. Now Aidan this weekend, I haven't heard how he's getting on, but Aidan's moved up to senior racing as well, and he's got a very busy weekend at Knockhill Circuit. He's racing in 3 Scottish Mini Cooper Cup races, and staying loyal to the Ford brand, he's taking part in the Scottish Fiesta Championship as well, moving up into their STs, just a slightly different specification. But Aidan obviously wanting to find some racing locally for him now as a senior, because there's no junior championships up in Scotland. We're on board with Alex Reid, car number 51. Took his ARDS test in June last year, so another driver with limited experience. Joined the Fiesta Junior Championship at Snetterton. That was the last but one round in 2012. Finished in 6th position in his first race, and indeed his second one. He beat Jack Mitchell in the second race. So it was a good performance from him. So he's still a newcomer. This is only his 3rd race meeting, Alex Reid. And as we said, raced in the 15 car last year, trying to close down on Rory Collingbourne. Rory's in the same boat, joined at Snet. And so these guys with the same amount of experience in terms of race meetings. Rory had a retirement at Snetterton last year. We're talking about the blue and white car there. An 8th, a 6th and then a 4th. Rory Collingbourne got a 5th. They were their best results from the 2 meetings last year. Through the Brook S's. What a fantastic battle we've got going on between these two. And Cox is now going to have a look. What's he going to do? Is he going to be the inside or the outside? We saw Reid initially hugging the inside a couple of laps ago. Rory Collingbourne has really taken the pressure. It's a game changer when you've got 3 cars that goes down to 2. It's a lot less tactical, and it's a straightforward battle of defender and attacker. And at the moment, Alex Reid has got to be defender. He's going out to the wall to optimise his speed. There's Rob Cox, slices through on the inside and takes second position. The WDE car goes through a very decisive pass, that one, as they went down. But now Reid's fighting back. He's got the outside line and better drive out of the corner. So Reid takes second position back. Amazing fight back there. Cox just a little bit recalcitrant out of the hairpin, and he's back down in third. Now these two slowing each other up may well allow Rory Collingbourne to close in. We're on board with JJ Ross, closing in on poor old Alfonso Skritska, who I think is going to find himself a lap down. But the key thing for Alfonso here is that if he can nurse the car to the finish, he'll grab some points, and that's going to be useful in the championship. And also, it's good practice driving around the problems that he's clearly got in the car. So I'm going to take my hat off to Alfonso and say this is a very good effort for him to keep going. But it's going to be a little bit disheartening as his brakes go on coming into the S's to see JJ Ross closing in, the 15-year-old from Watford, closing down on the number 8 car. I think he's going to pop a lap on him very shortly. Now Alfonso, look at that superb track manners from him. He's been great driver awareness. He's seen the lead car coming through and going on to his last lap, and he's pulled down low, and that's the rule on the, and he gives a little flash as he goes past. Terrific driving from Skritska, and I'm sure the championship coordinators and organisers and officials will applaud that. Really good stuff, kept out of the way of the race leader JJ Ross, who set a 1:46.821 on lap 7. Averaging, when you take the slow bits into account, he's averaging nearly 70 miles an hour around Rockingham. It's a fair old feat for these youngsters. And Ross is going to make it pole position, win and fastest lap in race 1, win and fastest lap in race 2. And I know he's not there yet, but very, very nearly. And look at that way that he came through the corner there. Really absolutely flying is JJ Ross away from the field, but it hasn't been all his own way. He was very slow off the line in race number 1 for whatever reason, but he fought back. So we've seen the racer, we've seen the overtaker, and we've seen the guy who can go off and disappear in the distance. Pretty much the complete package this weekend here at Rockingham for James Ross in car number 4. Around Tarzan for the last time. The battle for second between Robert Cox and Alex Reid is some 15 to 16 seconds behind as they came past the line about a mile and a half ago, and that battle's still on at the moment. But here he comes through the S's for the last time, and the opening event of the 2013 Motorsport News Ford Fiesta Junior Championship is all about this man, JJ Ross. He'll see the checkered flag. He's out of turn 4. There's the checker, and it's 2 out of 2 for him. Maximum championship points for JJ Ross. He'll take a great lead to Snetterson for event 2. There's Alfonso Skritska. He made it to the flag. He nursed his car home, and a great drive from Alfonso to secure the 6th position points. Ross the winner. Robert Cox managed to get past Alex Reid at the flag. Rory Collingbourne, after the drive-through, comes 4th. Natasha Hussain records 5th position, her best finish of the championship, and Alfonso Skritska in 6th.